We don't do one of those podcasts. You can say whatever's really. You call your father an arsehole online, so.
Yeah, well, probably shouldn't have done that. Was it not deserved? No.
And look, there have been some records broken. In particular, it's been really hot nights. Melbourne's had a number of March overnight minimum temperature records broken, and there's also been some maximum temperatures. In Adelaide and Melbourne, the minimum temperatures have been were between around 25 to 30 degrees on Saturday night. We've had a
Probably turn
high
my
pressure
clock off.
system pattern, which is where there's a high pressure system sitting in the Tasman Sea.
Okay.
And these blocking high pressure systems also prevent cold fronts from being able to sweep across the southern Queensland flush away the
Ready when you are, I think, Thomas. Tom.
Yeah.
We're going to be quite quiet on this one, I think.
I'll just ask you a question so you're not.
Okay.
God, these little things are hard to get on and off. Well, they're not. They're just hard to line up because it's a ball of fluff and you can't see. So,
Yes. Can I say when you're doing the trivia at Walter's dog, Mum and Dad got shit-faced?
oh, we didn't get shit-faced, but you can say... You can say we got shit-faced, we'll just argue back, but we didn't get shit-faced. We can still war. Give us a test.
Testity.
We're waiting on you.
Thomas!
That's in my ear. Oh my God, you're smoking us out here now.
I can't breathe.
Tom!
Mom, putting stuff in my phone.
Okay, no worries. You didn't answer me.
Well, I answered you before. I said yes.
Did he? I didn't hear you. I'm farting on camera.
I just smoked myself out.
Smoke Sarah.
Oh, I've got to pay that.
Yeah.
If I go to the post office now, they'll say you can't pay it. Why does it say ale?
Well, so I know which one's which. So I'm on B, Ali's on road, and you'll give me a test.
Hello.
You were very quiet last episode. Can you move
I
yours
had it
up?
right up the top.
Oh, you had it up the top. You sound good now, but when I listen to the playback, I don't know if you just mumbled or what the hell you were doing. Give us the
Ali was mumbling.
yes, you're both quiet actually.
I don't mumble.
I've given Ali the high, the loud one this time. I've given you the loud one and you're in my ear.
You can turn it up and down.
But no, we all sound pretty even now. So, Season 2, big yay, welcome to Season 2, Episode 1. We're doing Tamworth and Marundi. So, recap Season 1, setting up and getting ready to go. Bus warming, leaving home, Austin Tourist Park. Tom still worked 2 days. The things we saw and did in Tamworth that we should have done while we lived there, but we never did.
Yeah.
So, Motorbike Museum, Power Station Museum, Westwall Gallery, Deva Cacao.
I didn't go to Westwall Gallery, I don't think.
Yeah, it's where the chocolate shop was. When we rode our
Where
bike,
we nearly died.
riding our bikes up the hill.
We rode all the way to the top.
We did.
I nearly died.
Trivia at the Wilders Dog Farewell, coffee and food recommendations for Tamworth, and then Marundi, free camp at the pub, the Marundi Hotel, Over the Needle hike, walk around town, Life of Pie pie shops, thoughts about hitting the road, first night feels, dog sleeping, daytime setup if we need to fill some more space, a motivational, a joke, a recap. And next week, have we got,
A joke.
have you got joke?
But why don't you have a joke?
He never has a joke. He done 2 and then he's just like, meh, them.
I don't have a joke this week.
You
Not
don't?
one that's funny or I can actually say on a podcast.
You can say whatever you like on
No,
this podcast.
no.
I'll find a little motivational here somewhere. Where's my little bookity book because it's got the figures in it. So just put this here so I've got my figures in my book. So I've got the prices for the Motormoke Museum and the Power Station Museum and what else do I have written down here? Oh, we went to the first Fleet Garden at Wallabadar too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. I'll just get a pen and write it in there. Wallabadar. And the Weybridge at Willow Tree.
Can we talk about me smashing a computer?
You can. Marondo was a free camp. And we travelled 94 kilometres on the first day. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Got all our figures?
Yeah.
We're going to be actually loud this week, so I don't...
Yeah.
Not in volume, in content.
I was loud
Do
last
you want me to
week.
piss it off straight away? It's usually loud after you piss it off.
No, I don't want you to do that.
Stab you all sit here and I'd be like...
Okay, put your little toys away that you're tempted to
Your
play.
daughter just did to me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'll be on there. We've got a bit of building noise from next door, but I don't think that's going anyway. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome to season 2 of Oneills On the Run Life in a Bus. Just about forgot what we were called there. Episode 1, and we are finally hitting the road. Last season we covered everything, setting up and getting ready for hitting the road. I've got Tom.
Hello.
And Ali with me today. And yeah, we're hitting the road today in today's episode.
Well, we're not actually hitting the road today.
Well, 26th of February 2023, we're hitting the road. We're covering hitting the road. So, where are we up to?
What did we do? Drive out the front gate and went to Austin Tourist Park.
Well, before that, we had a bus warming party.
Yeah, that's right.
We had, through the build, we had a lot of people interested in what we were doing and why we were doing it, and sort of following along and very emotionally invested in over social media. So we invited a lot of those people to come out, and we had a barbecue, and everyone got to check out the inside of our bus.
Yeah.
It was a nice day.
Yeah, good turnout.
Good, lovely. Nice friendly day with peeps. So yeah, we had a bus warming, and then on the 26th of Feb 2023, we drove over our front grid. We left our home of 7.5 years, cattle property just south of Tamworth, and it was home. It felt like home.
Yeah.
And yeah, off we went. Set off on our big adventure. I think we were all pretty nervous but ready. Ali maybe not ready.
No.
Ali was a little bit resistant at the start. She knew it was happening.
Well, you kind of said, gonna wait until Ali finishes high school, and then it's like, no, Thomas is sick of work, so we're just gonna do it now. Not very pleasant.
That's fine. We'd got to go back to Corinne for your final year of school.
Sure.
Yeah, you can't do your subjects anyway.
No.
So yeah, 26th of Feb, just gone over our year now on the road, but we drove out over the front grid of our farm, left farming and country life behind, And we drove the whole 20 odd kilometres into town to Austin Tourist Park, where I'd been working on reception for a little while. And that was a little bit of a safety net, I guess, to sort of test out busing and living in the bus a little bit. And Tom had a couple of days' work to finish off. So we lived in the bus at the caravan park, and Tom finished off his last couple of days, which just gave me a chance to like deep clean the house we'd moved out of and all that stuff as well, without living in there. Get Ali consigned to the fact we're going.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we moved to Austin Tourist Park, we had a bit of a conversation about all the things that we should have done in Tamworth, all the touristy things. And I worked at reception on a caravan park, so I used to recommend these things every day, and we really hadn't done most of them. So we hopped on our mountain bikes and we took ourselves on a little touristy tour of Tamworth on a very hot day.
Not
It
the
wasn't that
brightest
hot.
idea. Oh, it was hot.
It was February in Tamworth. It was hot.
Well, we had to use the bike sooner or later.
We christened them straight out the get-go. So yeah, we
Is
done.
that a just quick question for Alexandra? Is that the last time you've used your bike?
No, I used it fairly regularly when we were at Cessnock to go down to Aldi.
Yeah, and she used it at Palm Cove in Cairns.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's used it. And
Twice more.
we had
5 times.
when she ran up my ass in Belmont, and we
Oh.
Well,
had,
I'm sorry that you couldn't control the dog.
and we had the biggest family argument.
That was a good blow up.
That was a great blow up, but we'll cover that
Candace
probably
is
next.
still in the road.
Correct.
You were at the front. You didn't even see what happened. So back on track, because we'll get to that story in the next couple of episodes. Yeah, we took ourselves on a tourist trip of our hometown, which I think people should do, because your own hometown, you don't tend to explore your backyard very much.
No, that's right. We should have rode to the lookout.
We'd already been to the lookout, and we'd already climbed Flagstaff Hill.
On Christmas,
On
by the way.
On Christmas Day, all Tom wanted to do was to climb Flagstaff Hill, which is a rather steep climb, again, on a hot day.
Were we the only ones there?
Well, no. No, there was...
No, there was more mentally insane people. We were just forced along.
Yeah, so things we did. Hopped on the push bikes, drove down Armadale Road, or rode our bikes down Armadale Road, about 2.5 k's from Austin Tourist Park, and we called into the Powerhouse Motorbike Museum.
Yeah, which is all right. A lot of old bikes, all sort of put in categories. I think they're all a private collection.
They are.
aren't they?
I think
Yeah.
it's the biggest private collection in Australia.
Definitely worth a look. I can't rattle off the bikes that were there, but
Lots of historic bikes, and from the 50s onwards. I think
yeah,
there's-
right through the 70s
the
and
modernies,
80s. Yeah,
yeah.
through to the moderns. I think there's even an electric bike there and
Yeah.
a wood bike.
and a bike made out of wood. Yeah, so it was definitely worth, especially if you're interested in motors and motorbikes and things. I just like looking at the pretty motorbikes. Tom is a bit more interested. I don't think it really tickled Ali's fancy.
It was interesting, but it's not like, oh my god, this is so amazing.
I don't
So
think
if
Dally
you-
gets, oh my god, this is so amazing about anything. But
I do actually. Food.
food. Yeah. And then, I think it was well worth the entry. We paid $16 for us to all get in, family pass to the Motorbike Museum. I think we got $16 out of it. It's ran by volunteers. They're very knowledgeable too. They knew all about all the bikes.
Yeah, you could definitely chew your ear off that fella.
In a good way. And then we rode up the Hill of Death.
Yeah, it wasn't that steep.
You're delusional and you could walk.
It was up Brisbane Street
Brisbane Street.
to the top of the hill there, just before the Botanic
On a hot
Gardens.
And it
day.
was about 2.5 k's, and Ali and I did both get off and push our bikes the last bit up.
My bike wasn't exactly in the best. I had it on too high of a resistance thingy.
So, and up at the top of the hill there, we went and saw Westwall Art Gallery, which I really enjoyed because I'm an art person. Tom's not an art person. He probably looked at the art on the walls with the same interest as I'd looked at motorbikes previously. It's free entry, and I enjoyed the art. And up there in the same building is the Devon Cacao Chocolate Factory, and we bought some chocolate up there.
Yeah, had a coffee and
Stopped
some
and
morning
had
tea.
coffee and morning tea. Yeah, so I think it's well worth the drive or ride. Maybe not ride again, but maybe a
But
drive.
think about the way back when we went down the bottom. You didn't touch your pedals once.
Well, that's it. Then we coasted all the way back to the main street, and I think I hit the brakes more than I used the pedals because it was all downhill.
It was that was the most enjoyable part of the day, the near-death experience.
Of riding down a steep hill.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, we didn't run anyone over, and we didn't get run over.
I nearly hit a metal pole, in case you forgot.
I probably forgot.
Yeah.
And then, so we went down the hill and we went to the Power Station Museum. Tamworth was the first town in Australia or New South Wales to get electric street lights. And they have quite a comprehensive museum there of everything electric.
Yeah, everything electric.
From the steam-powered engines that drove the initial town, right, everything.
Yeah, and everything 240 volt, I reckon.
Everything 240 volt that's ever come out, I think they've got a copy of it there. Old and new, current and 50s, and every fridges and vacuums and radios and...
Yeah.
A little bit about current, and like a little setup there where you could play with current and stuff, and test things and hand turbines and so much stuff in there. Tom wandered off and left me with the guide there.
So did I.
And I got stuck there for quite a while listening to a very informative guide. He was very informative and very thorough with his display of the collection. And I learnt a lot, but I was there for a very long time.
Do you remember any of it?
Not really. I probably do, but we looked at a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and what was that?
And it's all volunteer
It's
run.
volunteer run, and it was just $5 a person donation-ish kind of gold coin.
Cash only.
Cash only, to get in.
It's definitely worth a look, but...
Yeah, there's a lot in there. There is a lot in there. And on some days I know they fire up the steam engines and they actually use them to power things, like have demonstration days, and I haven't been to one of those, but people tell me they're pretty good. Again, when you work in a reception at a caravan park, you sort of recommend a lot of things to people without actually going there yourself. But yeah, and then we rode our bikes back to Austin Tourist Park.
Yeah.
And probably took the dog for a swim in the river.
Yeah.
So Austin Tourist Park's on the Peel River. It is nice and quiet and just grassy and shady under the trees.
Looks unassuming at the front, but like 5 acres riverside. Really good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much there at the front when you turn off the road, but it's nice and quiet down the back. Shout out to Alison, Frank, Lynette and Ainsley, Phil and Craig and all the housekeeping team at Austin. And then, so after that, next day Tom had to go to work, finished last day at work, broke his phone.
Yeah.
Had a bad day, didn't you? You wrecked your truck. What'd you do? You ripped something off the truck?
No, that was the week before, I think. The week before I ripped the effluent tank off it.
Yeah, and went overweight at the weighbridge.
Yeah, this one I did. I was towed carton wieners back from a place down near Denman.
Yeah.
Broke his phone. Gives me a hard time about breaking my phone.
Mate, you broke 2 in a week last week.
No, I just had my phone in my back pocket and tried to jump over a cattle rail to get out of the road or something, trying to eat me, and
Cranky cow.
rolled it over the cattle rail.
It smashed into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah.
So that was Tom's last day, and then he decided we'd go out for farewell drinks with his morning walk and gym crew.
Yeah.
And we went out the Welder's Dog for trivia night.
Yeah, which was good.
We had a blast that night.
I don't enjoy their beer, but some people might.
Yeah, no,
we didn't drink beer, we
Dad
drank spicy margaritas.
No, I had 2 beers to start with, and neither of them were pleasant.
And then we had several spicy margaritas.
Yeah, which were alright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so don't go to a brewery to drink their beer.
Yeah, my boutique brewery. But trivia night was fun, and we had a really good night. I think we were, even though we'd had several drinkies, we were probably some of the soberest of your crew. The teenager laughs.
Yeah.
She ditched and went home because we were getting rowdy.
Well, I went home and then there was the dog off anyway, so it's probably best that I went home.
So we had a bit of a rowdy night, but we definitely weren't the worst of the crew.
No, I don't think so.
So
I still reckon some of them haven't drunk.
Drunk since, you reckon we cured them? But yeah, Welder's Dog, great trivia night, great little sneaky bar at the back of Peel Street there.
Yeah, since been to a couple other trivia nights, not
Yeah.
bad nights if you want to go to something.
Yeah, good
Go with some
entertainment.
friends.
Work colleagues or whatever, put in table. Good night to do while you're travelling around. Yeah, so I guess while we're from Tamworth, we should probably give some people some recommendations about Tamworth.
Well, I have expensive taste, but like, Gallagher Station is very good. Pricey, but very good. So is
The food, modern Australian,
Yeah.
locally produced.
Yeah, really good. CH on Peel is probably one of the best restaurants in Tamworth. You know, constantly turning out really good food. Again, much more pricier. Sunny's Bakery is amazing. Best tarts in Tamworth. Best tarts I think we've had in like all of the New England area. Like
Yeah.
pretty damn good and fresh.
And Tamworth is a country town, and people are like, oh, it's just country little bumpkin town. Tamworth has exceptional food. I mean, we are the home of fast food and the fattest suburb in Australia, probably for a reason, because there is some good eats apart from the 4 McDonald's in Tamworth.
What is it? 4 McDonald's, 2 KFCs,
2 Red
2 Red Roosters, Hungry Jacks.
A Porto.
Taco Bell couldn't even compete. They had
No.
to shut down.
Guzman and Gomez is there now, though. A couple of Dominoes, 3 Dominoes.
3 Dominoes.
But apart from all the fast food, there is great, really good burgers like Williamsburg
And
Burger-
Burger Bulls,
and
which
Burger
is,
Balls, American barbecue.
Yeah, Burger Balls are the best of them. Right?
Burger Balls is very
and
good.
they originally started as a fast food truck, and they like turn out amazing fast food. The food truck at the market's the Korean barbecue
Yeah,
one with the
what's
wing.
it called? Mr. Chicken?
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah.
Chicken, I think. Korean barbecue. It's always fabulous. Miss Juju, some of the best Vietnamese food outside of Vietnam.
Yeah, and as two people who've gone to Vietnam, it's pretty damn authentic. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
tastes
authentic.
good.
It's authentic. Yeah, so I mean, Tamworth has good eats. We have really good coffee culture
Yeah,
there.
there's a few good coffee shops. Sunny's is alright, and
Campground.
Campgrounds is alright. I don't go much on a lot of the rest of it.
Tom's a bit of a coffee snob. You'll learn that it comes along. He's pretty hard to please on the coffee.
Coffee's got to taste like coffee, like hot milk.
Like what? Drinking bitter ground.
Yeah, like coffee today I didn't really love, but Tom loves it. Yeah, so good food in Tamworth. And apart from Country Music Festival, which I call the Hillbilly Apocalypse, and I always used to try to avoid for 10 days in January, always things on in Tamworth. There's always rodeo and NRL and sports and race days, and there's always lots to do in Tamworth. There's always something happening
Yeah,
around the
that's right.
place, lots of gigs and stuff. So even though it's a country town, it does have a lot to offer for, I think.
They
for
seem to have a lot of sporting events too, like with the hockeys, have a lot of
And
a lot of
basketball
days, basketball, yeah.
And then there's the ALAC, which is an international grade.
international grade horse sports facility. That's
Yeah,
always
there's
got
always
something
something
going on.
going on, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, Tamworth's one of those places, and I reckon it's a hub. So you base at Tamworth, and then you would explore like Gunnedah, Barraba, Uralla, Nundle.
Yeah.
Tamworth's a hub,
Yeah.
and it's a good place. I enjoyed our 7.5 years there.
It was nice. A little bit boring after a while, but it was nice.
I think everywhere's boring after a while.
Yeah.
You settle in.
Yeah, that's right. We always used to live a couple of hours from Tamworth, so we used to go there a bit to do your big shopping.
yeah.
And
And
you
then
could
you
doing
find-
cricket and
Yeah, and then you find out people that live in Tamworth go and do their shopping in Newcastle.
Castle, yeah. Yeah, so we filled in our last few days at in Tamworth at the Austin Tourist Park, doing all the things a tourist should do, and on the 2nd of March, we left Austin Tourist Park and we headed down through the Hunter. That was the goal, and we first stop was Wollabada at the First Fleet Garden.
Yep.
Now, Wollabada at the First Fleet Garden has free camping along the river, which looks exceptional. We've never stayed there, but we've always driven past,
Yeah.
and always the
I
amenities.
worked with a fella that stayed there and said it was good. Just walked up to the, what is it, the American Marshal or the Marshal pub and had dinner.
Yeah, and the amenities when we stop there going through are always clean.
Yeah.
And the river's always nice and tidy. I know someone got washed away there in the flood, so probably, be weather-wise when you camp right on the river. Someone's been...
And it's just a donation, I think.
Yeah, donation camp. And the First Fleet Gardens themselves are very interesting.
Yeah.
So there's all the shade sails are shaped to look like, you know, a fleet of ships, and then there's little stone monuments right around the park, and it's all gardened and things. It's lovely, and it's got all the names of the ships and the people who came to Australia on the first and second fleet on there. So it's quite interesting to walk around and look for names of your ancestors and things. And Wallabitas is just a sleepy little village on the New England, but it is
That's
a
right. And it's not a bad little shop.
little shop up there.
Yeah, well, I forget what they call it.
The
Little
hub, I
post
think.
office. Yeah, the
The
hub.
hub.
Yeah, nice coffee, and then they
Bacon, great bacon and egg rolls.
yeah, they do rolls and a few pastries and that sort of stuff. It's not a bad little spot.
Yeah, and the pub.
Yeah.
Get a beer there on the way home from cricket.
Yeah, that's it. I'd recommend that. It's a nice little shop if you're going through there early in the morning. Grab a coffee and one of their pastries.
Rolls, yeah. And then from Wallabitar, our next stop was
The Weybridge.
is it Weybridge before Willow Tree or after?
No, it's after.
Did we stop at Willow Tree?
No, we went through, but you can talk about it.
We
Yeah.
nearly always stop at Willow Tree. That's why I assumed we stopped there. There's a little place. What is that cafe called?
The Pantry.
The Pantry. And we always stop at Willow Tree for the Pantry because it has good coffee
Yeah,
and smoothies
yeah.
and pastries.
Yeah.
And they've got like this little market with like mostly locally sourced produce, and it's really cool. Like, you know, there's the local fruits and good pasta, and you know.
Honey and distillery gin, Dobson distillery gin, and lots of local produce and stuff in there.
I remember trying to stop at the pub there for lunch one day.
And we couldn't get a
You
table.
couldn't get in, yeah.
The Greys at Willow Tree is quite a famous gastro pub in the area. People take bus trips to go there for day trips, and we tried to get in and we just couldn't. So I think it's one of those things to book ahead. I can't recommend it because I've never actually got the pleasure of eating there, but they.
And then the butcher shops opened up. I think Willow Tree's sort of making itself like not a destination town, but a town that people come to and
Vanners
stop.
and travellers and
yeah, like people from Newcastle you talk to, they actually, if they're going through, they'll stop at Willow Tree to get their coffee and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and it is a nice little vibe. Like it's setting itself up to be that little boutiques and cafes and little art stalls.
Yeah,
and
it's like what Marunda was trying to do, but Willow Tree's done it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you go, and there is camping around the back near the
Old silos.
but bowling club, I think it is bowling club. Yeah,
And
You go
there's
across
also down on the showgrounds behind the railway.
yeah,
That's what we're talking about.
Bowling.
Yeah, at the bowling club, I'm pretty sure that it's on Wiki Camps. I've
Yeah.
never stopped there, but you
It's
see a lot
often,
of it.
often people there, and I imagine Willow Tree would be a very safe little community.
Yeah,
It's-
especially tucked away over the side
So,
there.
yeah. And then from there we went on to Marundai.
You missed the Weybridge again.
Oh, we missed the Weybridge at Willow Tree. We went over the Weybridge for the very first day out of the bus. We had to go over the Weybridge at Willow Tree.
That was an event because no one can control the dog. I lost my computer down my lap while I was trying to do schoolwork and it smashed. I'm like, no one can control the dog. Even this one was like, oh my god, ha ha ha, Amelia.
And that was a very dramatic reenactment with hands and everything here for those who watch the video later so you can see the whole thing. So I was following along in our little Golf, and Tom and Ali were in the bus. They had to go in the Weybridge, and the dog tried to jump out the door, and the laptop broke on the very first day of bus life, and I imagine there was tense words between father and daughter.
Oh, it was taking its seatbelt off to pick it up as we're going over Weybridge.
And I was luckily out of that conversation because I just parked on the road and waited for them to come out. But you're all good, obviously. I can't remember what we weighed.
A bit over 13 tonne.
13 tonne with the trailer,
Yeah.
with the motorbike trailer on. And it was all good, and we got to go through our Weybridge, so we got that out of the way very early. Got that one important check done. And then we went to Marunda. Can I go to Marunda now?
Yeah, you can get a Marunda, you have permission.
And we decided to stop at the Marundai Hotel.
It's not the Marunda, it's a Royal.
The Royal Hotel Marundai, and they have a free pub camp at the back.
Yeah.
It's just like a gravel lot with some trees planted
Yeah.
around the edge.
Yeah.
We fitted in.
And the only fee is that you have dinner there.
Yeah, they just ask that you support the pub.
Yeah, brand new shower and toilet complex.
Brand spanking new, and lovely hot showers, pet friendly.
Yeah.
Mimi stayed there. And we went up and we had lunch there. I think it was just fish and chips or something similar.
Yeah, it was something.
And played some pool, I think, and
Yeah, darts.
played darts. Just hung out up the pub for the afternoon. It was pretty hot, I remember. But yeah, we just So that was our first night, and we were off grid. So it's unpowered, free camping there at the pub, and they're great people there. We enjoyed our stay.
Yeah, highly recommend stopping.
Yeah,
there
if you're looking for a one nighter,
well, I think you can stay a couple of nights, but there's not a lot to do on Marunda. But if you play golf or something, I've had a mate that's played the golf course up there, said it's great.
yeah, and we done the Eye of the Needle hike,
Yeah, which is up past the golf course.
and it's a hidden gem.
It is.
We drive through Marunda like every week for years, and never even knew it was there. How do you find it? On All Trails?
All Trails. Yeah.
All Trails. Tom uses the All Trails app. He loves walking, so he finds lots of things for us to do on All Trails. Self-torture.
It was definitely worth the walk up there.
It was a beautiful walk. It is steep and it is very narrow in one spot, hence Eye of the Needle, because you feel like you're threading the needle when you climb up between the boulders. But it is. Oh yeah, I thought it was a cracking walk.
Yeah, beautiful view back out Marunda
Over the
once
valley,
you walk to the top. Yeah, and then easy route down.
And I'll put some photos up that I took while we were up there.
Yeah.
So you climb up through these steep boulders and you sort of come out on a big rocky outcrop that overlooks the valley, and then you wind your way across like
you
along
sort of follow a fence line along, and then you go back out and you look over Marunda,
yeah,
and then you work your way
back up,
down.
like an escarpment, and then down into the
And
park.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't National Park, it was
Just the
State Forest. Yeah, so we took the dog with us.
Yeah, we took the dog, and you could probably do some sneaky stealth camping down there. I don't think anyone would whinge.
No, it'd be, if they're going to do free camping, that'd be a beautiful spot for
Spot.
Marunda to do free camping.
Camping, yeah. So you just
But I
follow
think
the
the
signs.
toilets were shut, weren't they? I don't think the toilets were open.
But that was, we were sort of at the end of COVID too, when there was lots of crazy lockdown things, like still lots of rules when we left about all that sort of stuff. And then so we spent our first night at Marunda, and in the morning before we headed off, we just had a walk around town, and we ended up down at Life for Pie.
Yep.
Good pies there.
Bad pies, yeah.
Easy pull off too, like if you're travelling through, there's big parking.
Yeah,
Just past.
Just there past, yeah.
Just
out of
past
town.
there.
It's by the information centre, isn't it? So it's like designed for trucks to pull in like right there.
The information centre's up further, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have had coffee there too, I think.
Yeah. There used to be a coffee van at, what is it, the Marunda Co-op?
Yeah,
Used to be a coffee van there. I haven't seen it there for ages. It was the best coffee in town.
there you go. But yeah, Life Pie's worth a stop for a good pie.
Yep, coffee's not much shop.
According to Tom, I thought it wasn't bad.
You
So-
could have gone to BP next door and got a one that you would have enjoyed.
$1 for 1 litre kind of coffee. That's not really our thing. And that was our first sort of 24 hours on the road. We done a whole 94 kilometres, and we stayed at a free camp, and we done free activities. So I think apart from some coffee and cake and stuff, we had a pretty
That's right.
cheap run.
That was the best walk on the way down. We'll talk about the next one next time.
Yeah,
Was not worth going to.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that one next week. Do anyone remember how you felt on the first night?
Like I was going to stab the pair of you. How dare you take my life away from me?
Are you really that resentful?
No.
No, we're just being dramatic right now.
Yes.
A little bit resentful.
A little bit resentful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you? Thank Christ we're finally going.
Yeah. I didn't have to go to work.
You didn't have to go to work. Woo! Yeah, I think I was in holiday mode.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, there we're going on a family adventure holiday. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
But we were off grid also, everything worked a treat.
Yeah.
It was hot. I remember it being hot still. And yeah, I think that was that. And of course we had Mimi Mumbles, the blue healer, with us. And she sleeps in the bus at night, and she spends most of the day out. She's got like a steel cable tied to the bull bar that,
She's broken 3 times.
well, we've gone heavy duty now, so it slows her down a bit. But she's quite happy out during the day. She sleeps under the bus, and she likes to keep an eye on everything for us. So that's her travelling arrangements. We had a dog bed for her at that stage. Actually, we had a nice fluffy one when we first left. We've had a few reincarnations of the dog's bed.
And it travels on my bed, which is right behind Dad's seats. Normally with her paws up on Dad's shoulders.
I'm sure I've got a photo of that somewhere too.
I think I have a photo that I sent you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's us for this first episode of season 2. Next week we'll continue our trip down the Hunter. We'll do a few more little spots. I do have a motivational for today. I didn't say it at the start like I usually do, but I'll remember to do it before we finished. And that's, of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. All the good things are down dirt roads. What are you laughing at? Tom's just thought of something dirty,
Yeah,
I can tell
yeah.
by his face.
People get it, they get it.
You're a dirty bastard. No one has a joke. No one has a
No, I
bus-
just said it.
Yeah, sure, Tom just had it. The teenager looks mortified. Yeah, so next week, join us again while we head down the Hunter. Anyone else got anything to say before we wrap this up?
But
Do you have anything else to add now, you dirty-minded bastard?
dirt roads are always fun.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay, on that note, catch us next week.
See.
Stay still.
Oh, is that what you were looking right at my face for?
Yes.
One thing that came through, even from some of the senior Israeli people who are defending the war, is their lack of respect for Benjamin Netanyahu, even from the former Prime Minister, Barak, who we just saw then, said he lies, he's always lying, he can't be trusted. And I
Yeah, okay, thanks Tom. Put lots of ice and elevate, and yes, if it would be great if Candace could come Friday and tomorrow.
So you're just going on Friday this stage?
Yeah, I think that'll do me.
Okay. I think you're done. Pimple wise.
For now.
Wait, no, that's not the pimple.
Ellie's got a big one on the side of her face if you want to get it back.
What do you
Rightio, can we all
mean?
turn off
Where?
our
On your nose.
speakers?
Show there.
He's a former head of Shabak, of Shin Bet, the security service. He describes Ahmed as a terrorist. So,
So you can give yourself a about there. That's not ready to go yet.
Oh,
And
that-
there's red too, but